Hello everybody and welcome aboard this Moody for a look around her interior to give you an idea of her layout, how her space flows and if you think you might like her. So as you can see, I'm standing at the forward end of the saloon looking aft towards a companionway, and we'll just start talking about the companionway. So as you can see, very high. We've got a really high freeboard on this boat, so we're quite low down in the boat here, so consequently we have quite a long, fairly steep ladder. Now the companionway is nice and easy to get through, but we need to be okay with those steps, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I will start aft at the back end of the boat or towards the stern, and I'll work my way forward. So we'll just go through the tunnel here to the aft cabin. That was a little bit of a stoop for me. I'm 5'9". I'd assess it's probably about 5 feet. And then once you're in here, of course, the headroom reverts to normal. In fact, it's really quite high here. I'm nowhere near the ceiling, which is great. So as you can see, we have a really lovely aft double cabin. Looks like we have a proper mattress here. We've got a mattress topper as well. I'm sure there'll be storage beneath that too. We have storage either side, to this side and the back. I'm not sure about behind the headboard there, but we have a big shelf behind. We have two large windows to port and starboard, and we have a nice little opening hatch in the transom, which I really love because that's going to give you some really nice fresh air really close to where you're lying there in bed, very close to the fan as well. So this boat has one or two fans dotted around, so she really has seen the world. I think there are just these little clues that show that she's a sailor's boat and she's been all over the place. We have a hatch here inset into the deck head, so we've got light and ventilation there and possibly escape too. And of course all the windows, I believe, have got curtains, so all nice and private should you want that, no problem. On the starboard side here, you can see we've got a couple of really nice tall cupboards there, so for your longer garments, etc. And then on the forward bulkhead, you can see we have a nice big mirror, and we have a little vanity unit there with a shelf and drawers and cupboards beneath too. Very nice indeed. Just to give you an idea, there's the head height. There's me. Hello. There's the head height just as we pop underneath to go out and forward. But before we do that, let's have a little look through this door here, and we find the ensuite. So quite a compact bijou suite, but plenty of room in here to do what you need to do. On the left hand side, or the aft, we have a basin with hot and cold running water. Nice window here, so it does feel nice and light in here. And of course, in the heads compartments on this boat, we do have the original Moody decor. So a bit vintagey. Some will love, some won't. But it's fairly easily remedied, actually, with modern materials if you did want to change it. But you'd obviously be then changing the character of the boat, but that might be up to you. The heads there is, if you're sitting there, you'll be facing to starboard. Now, I like the fact that we're quite closed in here. So if you're in a seaway, you're going to be able to brace either side there, I think. We have cupboards underneath the work surface there. We have a cupboard set on top of the work surface and a shelf and a fiddle shelf on top. And we have a proper shower there with a nice mixing unit. So we're all very good. So all mod cons apparently in this bathroom or head compartment in the aft cabin. Great. Okay, so let's move forward slightly. So as I mentioned, so we have a small step here, which takes us a couple of inches down, and then a bit of a stoop to go underneath. And as we go through there, we'll see we've got one of the biggest hanging lockers I've ever seen, or this could be construed as a very large wardrobe. That's the turn of bills there. To our left, we have the engine compartment. So in there, we've got the engine and lots and lots of room around it. So great for the engineers. We can get to all the fuel pump pipe work. The batteries are in there too. And carrying on forward on the right-hand side here, you can see we have a cupboard that's given over to solar power controllers, etc. Two big solar panels sitting on the I call it the radar arch, but the frame at the back of the boat on the stern. And on the left-hand side here, as we move even further forwards, more cupboards, more drawers, etc. And on the right-hand side, that brings us to the galley. So I'll just pop out into the full head height and take a quick look at that. So you can see we've got a linear unit, runs fore and aft on the outboard side or the starboard side, and generally I think you could do everything there you needed to. So we have a cooker here with 2 burners, we've got an oven underneath as well, and we've got storage underneath. We've got a twin sink unit, so that's really handy for washing and drying at sea, so you can wash, put everything in there to dry or drip dry without it sloshing all over the place or falling onto the floor. Room for plates, bowls, etc. behind the sink, and also more storage here for whatever you'd like to put in there, but certainly cups would go in there. Very good, hey? Nice big windows here, coupled with a hatch, and the companionway makes it nice and light down here, despite the darker wood, and we've got varying hues of wood down here. Now, this boat has been around for a while. She feels part vintage, but she's also got loads of lovely new touches. But there are, you can obviously see where things have been changed or amended or maintained in the past, and there are a few bits that could benefit from improvement, but they look like cosmetics to me. But we'll see those as we go around, so just keep a weather eye on those. Now, going forwards from the galley, you can see here we've got a lovely big work surface on top of what I would assess to be a very recent nice fridge freezer. So open sesame, plenty of room in there, feels nice and cold. We've got a nice little freezer compartment there as well, so that is going to help you on your longer journeys, no doubt. I'm not sure if that's 12 or 240 volts. We will find out though. Forward of that, you can see we've got the navigation station. Now this is great because it's in the middle of the boat effectively, or on the starboard side, but kind of midships forward and aft. But it's part of the saloon, so you're not feeling separated. So if you're not using it as a nav station, you can easily sit here, or you can use a nav station as your drinks cabinet, etc., etc. Although please keep them away from your paper charts, obviously, if you're using them. On the outboard side here, you can see we've got more cupboards, more stowage, etc. We've got handheld radio. We've got all sorts of bits and pieces hanging on here. You can just see the Lloyd's Register mark there too. And then the forward of the nav station, we've got all the nav gear that's down here. So we've got a nice B&G DSC unit. It's a DSC VHF unit. We've got a microwave here, which is a really useful addition on a boat like this, of course. And there are twin 240 volt sockets all around the boat, and there are lots of USB chargers as well. So should keep the kids happy with their phones, etc. And there we can see we've got the distribution board. We've got a couple of electrical panels there, and just whizzing around up here, we've got a radio telex here. We've got Navtex here, a couple of bilge pump operating on auto, manual and alarms, etc. for the two electrical bilge pumps. We have AIS radar up there, and the battery monitor, and I can't make out what that's some kind of inverter controller underneath there. But lots of nice bits and pieces to keep this boat going electrically, and all very easy to reach and at hand. Very nice. So turning around and looking on the port side here, we can see we've got where probably a lot of people will be spending a lot of their time on board. Really lovely saloon area. So we've got U-shaped seating all the way around. Really, really lovely saloon table. Love that. I don't think it's the original. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that goes up and down too. You can see we have stereo speakers here and here. There are speakers all over this boat. There's some in the cockpit too. More sockets, etc. We have a heating outlet, and the floor looks nice too. It's worn, but not excessively at all. It's I don't think that would even benefit from being refurbed or anything. I think it's fine. A little bit of carpet lay through there too, and upholstery looks good. I'm sure we have storage beneath and possibly behind these cushions too. And if you look on the after bulkhead, we've got a clock and a barometer. On the forward bulkhead, we have a clock, another clock, and a hygrometer. This picture's not going with the boat, by the way. It's a very dear picture that came through the owner's family. But really nice area. You have stowage outboard there on the port side, and very nice high headroom. I'd say that this is probably about 6'2", 6'3" in the middle. Obviously it comes down a little bit with the roll of the coach roof. We have a hatch here for lighting ventilation, a couple of other ventilators too, spot down lighting also. Generally a nice place to be, and of course anybody sitting here doing whatever they're doing can easily communicate with the galley, which is just straight over here. We can pass things backwards and forwards too, and everything just flows rather nicely. And of course the galley is just down and inside from the companionway there, so nice and easy to pass stuff up, pass stuff down, and we just have a little receiving area or another chopping area to put our bits and pieces on there too. Really like it. So looking forwards, we can just carry on to the rest of the boat. So another little corridor here, small step down, and enables a higher headroom in here. So I'm not stooping to get under this, even though it does go down. So that's good. On the left-hand side, so the port side here, is the entrance with a sliding door through to the Pullman cabin. So Pullman means we have bunk beds, and at the aft end you can see we've got a nice cabinet here with cupboards and a drawer. Very good. A fiddle shelf, and we've got two nice long comfortable looking nice wide berths with storage beneath the bottom one by the looks of it. And we also have reading light on the top one. I didn't see one on the bottom one. Looking along the length of the cabin, you can see we have a nice window here, hatch there for light and ventilation. We've got coat hooks galore, and a really good set of shelves there for all of your bits and pieces while you're undertaking your voyage. top stuff. So coming out of this cabin and straight across, if we open this door, we come to the forward heads compartment, which is very, very similar in decor to the aft heads compartment, just a slightly different layout. We have a manual head here. We have a window up here with a sliding door cupboard beneath, a small sink in the starboard aft corner, and another shower with a mixer tap there. Pretty good, hey? Very nice. And that toilet will be facing aft if you're sitting there. So close the door on that and we'll move forward into the forward cabin. And as you can see, we're configured as we walk past this wardrobe here. We're configured with a full double berth here. This looks like an infill, and I'm sure that will pull out and allow you to put that to one side and have two singles with feet meeting in the middle and a little bit more space to get changed in. We have fiddle shelves port and starboard. We've got windows port and starboard, a nice big hatch over the top as well, and of course a couple of shelves where we have a shelf here and a step up to that hatch should we need to get out via that way. So all good and plenty of room for a couple to sleep in style and comfort. And I think these are probably aftermarket proper cushions as well, rather than the original thin ones that sometimes give you the aching elbows and aching hips. So that is the interior of this Moody. She feels vintage. She's got vintage features. She's smattered all over the place with nice modern stuff as well. There are bits and pieces that I think around here that could be improved, but it looks largely cosmetic to me. But she does feel incredibly solid. She does feel big. She feels high, and she feels like the kind of boat that I might choose to take me on those long cruises and expect her to look after me a little bit better than possibly some of the modern, more lightweight stuff. So if you think you might like her, just go to boatshedbrighton.com for lots more pictures, videos and virtual reality. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.